MajorSlackVideos.
Well, yeah, the name is Slack. Thanks for coming back. Let's walk through some more Divinity Original Sin 2. And enough of the preliminaries. Let's get adventuring. Here is Sebille. And she's bound to win every fight that we get into. She's looking like that. Yahoo. And the Red Prince. I've got Sebille all decked out with a bucket. That's her only armor. And a dagger, a pocket knife with some poison damage. The Red Prince has all the rest of our paltry armor and a crossbow. Now I've given Sebille the bucket because I want to lower her initiative. That way when we go into a fight, which we're going into shortly, Red Prince is guaranteed to go first. Alright, next, like I said, I organized the inventory, so that's exactly the way I want these guys going into the fight. We are going to power level to level 4. I'm basically going to show you how to earn 18,000 XP to go from level 2 to level 4 without having to spend any points of that, without having to spend any attribute points, combat abilities, civil abilities, or talent points. Same with Red Prince. We're going to save all those points, get up to level 4. Is it doable on Tactician Mode? Yes, it's doable. Very doable. I'm going to show you how to do this, and then you can make a save at level 4 and experiment with all different kinds of builds with a whack ton of points at your disposal. Right? Sound like a plan? Let's do it. First fight is over here with a bunch of Voidlings. Right in this area right here. That's where we're going. Let's see if we can pick up some things on the way. There's some whisper wood and a short stick. Whisper wood you can use to make magic armor potions. Just put whisper wood. Let me just do a quick save here. Bring up the crafting screen. Whisper wood is right there. Add a potion bottle. Ingredients. Potion bottle. Combine those two together. And you got yourself a magic armor potion. Very useful. Very, very useful to bump up your magic armor right in the middle of combat. But I don't want to do that right now, so let's just reload. If you're playing as a mage, you can also use a short stick to make a wand of random elemental damage. So bring up the crafting screen. Do we have a short stick? Short stick. Any short stick and a skull. Any kind of skull. Add that, combine, and you got yourself a wand. Like I said, it's completely random. It may be poison, it may be air, it may be fire, or it may be water. So if you are a mage, you probably want to collect a lot of short sticks and or skulls. Any skulls you see, collect them. I just want to reload because I don't want to use that short stick to make a wand. I'm not a mage. We are archers. And those short sticks can be used to make arrow shafts, which I'll do shortly. Anything else around here? Let's go loot the barrel. Leg of ham. Alright, our first battle is right here. Don't get too close because you get drawn into the battle prematurely. Sneak cones. Just want to see what the actual name of the control is. There it is. It's called Show Sneak Cones. And I believe that's the actual default for the PC version. Left shift. So when you're standing up and you're not in sneak, if you go into sneak, let's put Sebille, let's separate these two guys. Sebille go take the front. Go into sneak. As you can see, these guys have these red sneak cones in front of their field of view. The dark red is the danger part. The not so dark red, that's around the perimeter, is caution but close. So these guys are bopping around in a kind of a random fashion and their sneak cones are going all over the place. What we want to do is get up, position ourselves, and get into this fight on our terms. So I want to position Sebille in a blind spot. I noticed behind this rock right here. There's a blind spot right here. No matter what they do, they never discover you there. That's perfect. Let's get the Red Prince's sneak. Put him right about there. And Red Prince is going to go on point. As soon as these guys go over that way, we're going to rush Red Prince in and start the fight. There we go. Starts the fight. Now, take a look at this here. Red Prince has these crossed swords like on top of his icon. But Sebille does not. What does that mean, Slack? That means that Red Prince is in the fight, but Sebille is not actually in the fight yet. So you can actually switch out to anybody who's not in the fight and do stuff. Wonder if we can be able to get by there. Okay, let's try. So what I want to do is get by these two guys and get behind them. Let's go back to Red Prince and see who is first in the lineup. That guy and that guy. Okay, great. That guy's first. Let's switch back to Sebille. See if we can sneak by. There's a pretty tight squeeze here. Really tight squeeze. Oh, that's what she said. See if we can get by. Come on, come on, come on. I got it. A little bit. Great, we got by. So now we can get right up on this guy's arse and do a backstab critical to start the fight. Haha, cheap shot. And it doesn't even subtract from your action points. Okay, so as you can see, we damaged him already. And now it switches back to Red Prince because he's first. He has the highest initiative. Alright, Red Prince, do your thing. These two guys are close together. They're perfect candidates for the oil slick, or what's officially known as the fossil strike. This will slow them down and damage them. Now we don't want to damage Sebille. Right about there. Launch that in there. Slow the boat down. And we got 2 action points left. Let's damage the one that is gonna take his turn next. That one right there. Very good. I think both going at her hard. Alright, Sebille, it's your turn. All elves should start out with flesh sacrifice. Now, who's next? That guy, and then that guy. So this guy is next. Let's do a sucker punch on him. Knock him down, make him miss his turn. It'll cost 2 AP to get behind him, so that we can do a backstab critical. Let's do that. Get behind him, do a backstab critical, and it finishes them off. Haha! Alright, now it's Red Prince's turn. This guy has no physical armor. That means he's susceptible to pin down. As you can see, it's resisted by physical armor. Any physical armor, even 1 physical armor, will resist anything that says resisted by physical armor. So let's pin him down so we can't attack our girl Sebille. He's pinned down, and we only have 1 turn or 1 AP left, so let's move a little closer. Turn over. Now it's Sebille's turn. Once again, Sebille. See if you can get behind him. Do a backstab critical. Unfortunately, that guy's there. Right there. Ran through the oil, that's okay. And haha! Okay, she's taking beating, that's okay. We can handle it. And this probably won't finish him off, but let's give it a shot. 1. And there's nothing we can dip our arrows in around the area. 5 left. Oh, Sebille's almost down. That's okay, we got him. Sneak around the back. Do backstab critical. And Red Prince can finish him off. And that's all she wrote. Get all the XP for killing those guys. Let's rest up a bit, get our health back. There, you feel better, Sebille? Okay, you want to chat about this with the Red Prince? Whenever they have those yellow exclamation marks, that means they want to talk to each other.
Stare at the slain beasts and comment that they must have been the cause of the shipwreck.
They're just animals, easy enough to euthanize.
They didn't put up much of a fight. Dry land mustn't suit them.
Alright, let's see what they got in the way of loot. Let's have Sebille do all the main looting. Looking for giblets. No giblets. Nothing in the barrel. This guy has all the goodies.
Magister Jalen from the ship. I would have chosen a swifter death for him myself.
And that's that. Mission accomplished. Let's move on. I have no use for shells, so I'm just going to pass them all up. And we picked up another book. Let's go through all the books right now. Books can give you either recipes or updates to your quest. So let's just double click them open. You can pause the video and read the text on any one that I open up. Oh, we got 2 recipes. I'm not going to stop and read them all because it would just, like, you know, drag on the walkthrough too long. Just looking for quest updates or recipes. Done and done. Now we can add them all to wares. If you press down, fortunately there is no control listed in the list of controls for add to wares, not that I could find. On the PC version it's left shift by default. Hold down left shift and just click with your mouse on any item and that will automatically add it to your wares. Here's my collection of wares. Wares are items that you want to sell, so when you get it to a sell screen just click on the add all wares and you can sell everything at once. Okay, it's a way of saving a lot of time as you're selling. So let's go back to books and add all these pardon me, books and letters to wares. And henceforth, whenever you see me doing this, that's what I'm doing. Alright, we'll keep the keys because those can be crafted into lockpicks, and I'll show you how to do that later on. And we're done. There's a sharp rock. That's about the only thing I want, so let's go get that. That can be turned into an arrowhead. And let's continue down this way. More shells. Now we're at the broken bridge. Showing the map where we are. That's the waypoint you start out at. Go straight south. You see kind of like a gap in here. That's why I call it broken bridge. At the broken bridge there's some penny bun mushrooms here. I always like to go close and see if I can actually see this stuff to pick up. Oh, she's standing right on top of them. Okay. Back up there a little bit, Sebille. There they are right there. Instead of using show world tips all the time, sometimes I just like to go really close so I can find them. Leave the shell alone, we don't need that, we got lots of those. Over here, let's find a couple of secrets. Find the cross.
Here lies a nameless inmate. May he find the peace denied him in life in the Hall of Echoes.
This secret won't be revealed unless you have enough wits. And neither one of us has good wits. We just have default wits. But we do have some pumpkin soup though, which can be used to increase your wits. Everybody gets pumpkin soup. This is not really worth it. I'm just doing it for demonstrational purposes. If I was playing alone, I wouldn't waste this pumpkin soup on this guy. But let's do this anyways. First of all, let's get into position. Let's unchain these guys. Why, Slack? Well, you'll see. You back off here, Prince. And Sebille, you do that. You're gonna eat the pumpkin soup and take point.
I've spotted something.
There we go. Now, whenever you discover a hidden treasure, you need to dig it up. 2 ways to dig it up. Either get a shovel, which we're gonna get shortly, or if you're playing with a lizard, I forgot he's gonna have to do this anyways. He has claws which he can use to dig up anything. So just let's have him dig it up.
Due effort if one is to
Let's
reap
back her
the
off.
proper reward.
There we go. And surprise, surprise! It's a freshly buried corpse. He doesn't look too happy about that. And we're in a fight. Okay, we're both in the fight. It's Sebille's turn first. Tell you what, let's give her a crossbow. Weapons. This will cost an action point, that's okay. Flesh sacrifice. Click on her to get 10% damage boost and then get an action point back, and let's whack this guy with a couple of shots here. You like them apples. He gives Red Prince a good one. And he's going for Sebille. Here he comes, Sebille. Oh no. Oh no. Oh, just short. Somebody didn't eat their Wheaties this morning. Okay. He has no physical armor left. So that means he could be pinned down. Pinned down. Very good. That's the end of Red Prince's action points. Can we cook him up? Yes, we can, but Sebille's in the way. Sebille, you're going to take one for the team. Sorry about this. Yeah, this is hardcore, and let's see if we can finish him off before we burn to death. Oh, one left, and he dies from burning. Excellent. Get out of the burning. Sebille, you're on fire. Literally. Okay, and that purple, when your health bar turns purple, that means you're under a status effect like burning. Alright, so now it's turned red again as normal. Let's sleep a little bit by using the bedroll, and that'll return our health bars to normal. Very good. Chain these guys together again, and let's see what we did that all for. Nothing. Except the XP for killing him. Like I said, if I was playing alone, I would never do that. I would never waste the pumpkin soup on discovering that. There's another hidden treasure over here that we discovered earlier. It's right in front of the pointy rock that's in front of... Here's the pointy rock. There's the hidden alcove. Let's go check it out. Let's get Red Prince to dig it up.
I am not opposed to manual labor if circumstances require.
And we get some goodies. Let's have Sebille pick it up. Have her pick up all the main loot. Besides, she could use that armor. So take all that. Let's take a little look-see. That's some good armor. Double click on that to give it to Sebille. The Darling Bow with +1 to finesse. Not as good as the crossbow. Even if it was as good, the crossbows are always a better deal. Why? Because they all have +5 accuracy. So with a crossbow you have 100% accuracy. And that's really meaningful, because missing a shot in this game is really critical. When you miss a shot, you take a shot and you miss, sometimes it's a matter of life and death. So I would much rather have, you know, if a crossbow has a little less damage than another bow that has more damage and other goodies, I would much rather have that 100% accuracy. Alright, so now let's say you weren't playing with the Red Prince. How would you dig up those hidden treasures? Well, you'd use a shovel. Where do I get a shovel? So like, I'll show you. There's one right here. There's this little campsite. Look on the map, and if you go straight down, there's a broken bridge, and at the end of this section of the broken bridge, right there, it's a campsite. You see this little path going up here. Let's put a marker there right now and call it campsite. There we go. Let's go there now. At the campsite, we got a campfire and a shovel.
Boring.
So now you can dig up any stuff you want without having to have a lizard in your party. Let's check everything out. A potato, okay, we can turn that into mashed potatoes. Another skull, you know what to do with that. A bedroll, we can sell that because both of our guys already have the bedroll. Is there anything else here? A cooking pot. Alright, we have a fire. Let's light it up. Now, right click on the fire and click combine with. That brings up the crafting screen. You see that the fire is already there. What do you do with that? Like, what you do with this is you add a cooking pot. Go to ingredients, add a cooking pot. Boom, combine those two together and you got yourself a cooking station. And there it is. But the cooking station you can't take with you. So I'll show you a really convenient cooking station to set up once we get it further into Fort Joy. But for now, let's use this to cook food. How do you do that? Click on it, and it automatically adds it to your crafting screen as a boiling pot. Now you can just add stuff, any kind of like raw kind of food you can add here, cook it, and it will turn it into a meal. For example, this herring. Let's add all three herring, click on combine, boom, we got a meal. And that all meals give you +2 strength, which is pretty good, and heals 20%. Perfect for melee guys, but it's also good for like lifting heavy things, which I'll show you later. So let's cook all this raw food here, with the exception of any raw meat that we collected. Raw red meat, say that, that's really good for a bloated corpse scroll, which are a lot of fun. Yeah, definitely say that. Actually, we should be able to combine these two hams together. There we go. Add all three. Cooking them up here, boss. Very good. Add these two giblets. And looks like that's all she wrote. Here we have a couple pumpkins. We can make a couple more pumpkin soup. There we go. So we replaced the one that we used up frivolously. What else? Potatoes. How do you make mashed potatoes? You add a potato. And a hammer. You don't need the cooking pot to do this. You can also craft here. It doesn't matter if the cooking pot is there. You can also just, like any recipe that works, you can just put it there. So take your hammer to your potato and turn it into cold mashed potatoes. They're not really worth that much. It only heals 5%, but you can change that. Wait a minute, I need to, let's make another cold. There we go. There we go, another cold mashed potatoes. Now, if you take your cold mashed potatoes are listed, I forget where, I think it's not consumables, it's really weird. Ingredients, here we go. Cold mashed potatoes, add it, and make sure you got a cooking pot happening. Here we go, combined cooking pot and the cold mashed potatoes, and it makes hot mashed potatoes, and now they're worth a lot more. It's like a meal. 2 strength and it heals 10% health. Let's make another one. Very good. Meals are great. Meals, you know what meals are good for? When you don't want to use up a health potion. Because sometimes health potions are overkill. And they're valuable too. You don't want to use them up. Let's say your health is like down 1/3. You don't want it, and you're in a bad way. You know if you leave it like that, you're screwed. Just use a meal instead. So that's why meals are really valuable in combat. What else can we do? I think that's about it. We pretty much cooked up everything. Oh wait, this guy. Cook up some ribs here. And finally, if we had some tomatoes, we can make some tomato sauce and add it. Mix some tomato sauce and a meal, and you make what's known as an Elven Dinner, which it gives you +1 or +2 to finesse. I forget. I think it's +1. And that's it. That's let's just check consumables. See is there anything else we can cook here. Oh, that's about it. We can make some orange juice by mixing the orange with an empty cup. That's great for archers. +1 to finesse. And we are good to go. There you go. Cooking 101. I'll show you more cooking recipes later on. That's that. We're gonna have to leave this behind. That's why I told you to take lots of cooking pots. Now, below the campsite, there's a campsite. Directly below it is a Yarrow Flower right there. You want this. This is extremely important. So make sure you grab this. Don't forget this. And let's check out the barrel. And if you weren't fortunate enough to get a short stick, you can find a long branch over here, which can be combined with any cutting tool. I always keep a dagger for that purpose. Ingredients, long branch, any cutting tool. Combine those two together and you get some short sticks, I think 2 or 3. I don't want to do that now because I want to keep the... Another thing you could do, let's just do a quick save now and just demonstrate here. Quick save. Crafting screen, long branch, ingredients. And combine that with a shell, which is found in consumables, oddly enough. Did we pick up any shells? Yeah, there's the shell. Combine a long branch with a shell and you get, boom, a two-handed improvised staff, which has this skill called Staff of Magnus, which allows you to do a ranged magical attack. Don't be fooled by these improvised staffs. These are probably the most useless weapons in the game, because they're basically two-handed weapons, and you can use this Staff of Magnus. I'll just hook it up right now and show you. Okay, so now we have this new skill, Staff of Magnus. Go to your skill screen, you can add it. Doesn't take up a memory slot, it's just there. And as you can see, you only get to use it once per turn. So it's basically, this is a two-handed weapon that you can use the Staff of Magnus once per turn to shoot a magical attack. So it's not like magical wands where you can like just shoot them until your action points run out. It's a lot different. So don't be fooled by that. But you know, it has its uses. It has its uses. Okay, so let's just quick load because I don't want to use that long branch. Hey guys, real walkthroughs like these are an endangered species here on YouTube. For a complete lowdown on the YouTube video game walkthrough scene, check out my Patreon page and please consider making a donation to yours truly, Major Slack, to help keep real walkthroughs alive on YouTube. You can donate as little as $1. That's $1, that's all. That's all it takes, alright? Thanks a lot, really appreciate it.